Amid the spiralling Hormuz crisis, Italy's conservative Lega party leader is urging EU countries to start buying Russian oil again to support their economies.
The United States at this very moment has suspended until May 16th sanctions that were blocking the trade and purchase of oil from Russia. If Washington does that, then Brussels should follow suit. Instead of locking down schools and factories and hospitals, we should again purchase gas and oil from all over the world, including Russia, since we are not at war with Russia.
Yeah, the US has suspended its ban on the purchase of Russian crude until May the 16th. This comes as a dramatic U-turn, as just days earlier, the US Treasury Secretary himself pledged that no further exceptions would be made.
We will not be renewing the general license on Russian oil, and we will not be renewing the general license on Iranian oil. Because again, that was oil that was on the water prior to March 11th. Right. So all that has been used.
Washington's extended suspension will bring 100 million barrels of Russian oil back onto the global market. Western countries first sanctioned Russian crude in 2022 over the Ukraine conflict. The US argued the gas and oil ban would cripple Moscow's economy. Let's get some more insight from Italy's Veneto region councillor Stefano Valdegamberi, one of the National Future Party. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just explain to us how this energy crisis, triggered by this uncertainty surrounding the Strait of Hormuz, has affected Italy.
As everywhere, has affected Italy, as everywhere, the price of the product increase, inflation, and the cost of gas, oil is increasing more and more, and is very difficult to live for the poor people to go to work. Everything costs much more than before, and that is most important is that affect overall the production, industrial Italian production, competitiveness of the Italian system in the world. That's the most important effect, and that long term is provoke a reduction of gross product and affect very strongly of our economy.
It's all having a negative impact on the Italian people, much like people across Europe, like you say. We have Hungary, which has continued to purchase Russian oil despite the EU sanctions. Why hasn't Rome put its people first and followed suit, considering the strain?
It's the right way. Most important Italian people wanted to establish the supply of energy for Russia, but our leaders don't want to do that, and we are going on in the wrong way. Effectively, my party is a new party, and the National Future, Futuro Nazionale, and our leader said many times, the former General Vannacci is our leader, and every day say we have to buy the energy at the lowest condition, lowest price, and so we have the necessity to reopen, establish the supply from the Russian gas, from the Russian oil. But it looks like not the way to follow by our leader, forced from Meloni government.
Yeah, even before this crisis in the Middle East, life was harder for people in Europe. And now we have this unprecedented situation with global supply routes coming under renewed pressure. We don't know how long this is going to continue. Do you think this might push Brussels to seriously consider returning to Russian oil?
I don't think our European leader wants to come back. It's absurd, totally absurd. Their decision we are taking us to the bankrupt, and I seriously, for example, the CEO of our main company, oil and gas company, Italian oil and gas company, Eni, said the day before that we have the duty to reopen the supply from the Russian gas overall, because now our GNL is supplied also by Russia, but at the end of this year, European Union decided to stop the supply completely. But we are not able to survive without the supply of GNL from Russia, and our economy is a risk to go in bankrupt. It will be a big crisis for all Europe, and that is said by a most important representative of our oil and gas company, Eni, not by a politician. He analyzed the economic situation of Italy, and he said that for all Europe we need to reopen to be open with to the gas from Russia and to the oil from Russia. First of all, from to the GNL, we cannot stop the supply of GNL to Europe.
So what's it going to take? I mean, long term, it's an unsustainable model for Europe to completely cut Russia off the map. So what's it going to take for Brussels to sign a deal with Russia?
Now, the Brussels politicians are going on to destroy Europe. That's my opinion, but not only my opinion, but the opinion of most of even every day more politicians think the same. And I don't know what a result they want to reach. I'm European, convinced that I want an European Union independent and from the policy of the US, from the policy of Russia, from everywhere. But we must be free to decide everything for our interest. That is not what we are doing now, and our interest is to join with to Russia, because Russia represented in the past an interest of the European Union itself, and so together with our capacity to produce, the capacity to create a new product, together with raw material from Russia, we could be a great economy working together. But someone wanted to divide us, created this crisis, and the main victim of this crisis is the European Union.
Yeah. If we just look at the example of the United States, which seems to have absolutely no problem or no shame adjusting or suspending restrictions depending on, market conditions, why hasn't Brussels done the same?
That is really absurd. I don't know what, and I realize that maybe someone totally crazy is deciding against our interest. I have no answer to this question. Effectively, in the past, we said that we cannot open to the Russian gas oil because of America imposed to close. But now it's not so. It's our decision. And it's for that reason, more and more people are forcing the politician to change this route. And first of all, Lega party, my party, and others are moving on to force our government to reopen first of all, for our interests. And I don't know why, because the European Union don't want to choose. They prefer to close to a local energetic new energy. They are talking about energetical lockdown. That's really absurd. To reduce, not to use your car to go to work, smart to work, working by your house, don't to consume. Is a really absurd, only ideological decision. But I think the only solution is to reopen to the Russian as in a short time, because our economies are suffering more and more.
Thank you so much for your time today. Veneto Region Councillor for the National Future Party, Stefano Valdegamberi. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, everybody.